Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Today interview with Bilgute Tumendemberel. Today I have a beautiful lady in our studio. Her name is Coco Wouters. She's a filmmaker and adventurer who's been working on a documentary film project about female filmmakers of Europe and Asia. Good evening. Thank you for receiving my invitation here.
You're welcome, thank you.
So let's start talking about your project. What is the project about? Why you started?
Yeah, so it's called The Great Journey, and is actually...
again, say Great?
The Great Journey.
Great Journey, right.
Yeah, so it's The Great Journey, and is a documentary series made by 7 episodes. And in every episode, I'm meeting one female filmmaker from Europe to Asia. So far, I started the project in Belgium. Then I went in Finland with the filmmaker Selma Vilinen. Then I went in Russia with Ella Menjeva, filmmaker from Kalmykia, actually, also related to Mongolia.
Ah, Kalmyk, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I was in Kazakhstan with the filmmaker Jana Izabayeva. And now I am here in Mongolia with my filmmaker. Her name is, so we call her Zoro Purjeval, but it's Zorgorgal.
Zoljargal.
Yes, you say better than me.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Zoljargal.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you say the right way.
So you are doing it about the Zoljargal in Mongolia.
Yeah,
and she's the 4th female filmmaker.
Exactly. Yeah.
In your 7 chapters.
Yeah, and the idea with this project is also, so all my filmmakers are big dreamers, you know, and they have this very big passion and they have this devotion for their work. So my films show that process, you know, because sometimes, a lot of time actually, and I believe more with social media, but we see quite a lot of people quite successful, and we always think, I wish I could be like them, or, you know, we just think about success. But my films show actually the process, how these people get it, you know, how these people won prize on festival, you know, how it works to be successful or not, because sometimes it's a failures, you know.
Yes, of
but
course.
Then at the end,
so many experiences like that.
A lot of them, and so really this film tried to just settle down everything and just think, okay, actually we're all human, and it's hard for everyone, always. Although if you are successful or if you're not, it's gonna be hard. But you have to believe in yourself, and all of my filmmakers believe so much in themselves. They are very devoted for what they do, and yeah.
So you're originally from Belgium?
Yes.
You're a Belgian filmmaker, right?
Yes.
And how did it start in Belgium? Did this project, the idea of this documentary, making this documentary, and why did you choose female filmmakers? It says something about society, you know, why female filmmakers?
Yeah, I think the beginning was I was looking for role model, like
for yourself.
At first, for myself, I was looking for role model and woman that I want to be like, you know, very powerful, very strong, and like to get inspired by other people and other women, you know. And also because
as a filmmaker or as just a person?
Both.
Both.
You know,
relative.
Both,
right.
because I'm both, of course, because I want to be a successful filmmaker as they are, and I want to be, and I believe I am a strong woman as they are.
Right.
You know,
I'm sure you
but
are.
that is when I start to wanted to make a film. It's just I realize we don't have enough good example of strong women in the cinema industry, in the film, on TV, everywhere, on the street. If you go, you know, if you see the commercial, it's always a very specific image of the woman. I couldn't recognize myself on it. So everything makes sense. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a film about it. And of course, I'm gonna be inspired by them, but I'm gonna inspire everyone. I'm gonna inspire you, people, everyone who can watch this film can say, okay, this is very, you know, good example. But then it's not only the reason of this film, it's also showing people who have a dream. It's not only about women, it's about human, you know. If you have a dream, how far could you go to quit maybe everything you have in life stable to do what you think you should do.
Sacrificing
It
stuff
is.
for the goal.
For example, my filmmaker in Kazakhstan, Janita Bayeva, when she started, she had a company, advertising, it was good, you know, but she wasn't filmmaker, she had this company.
Right.
And she said, I want to do a film, I want to make a film, I want to be filmmaker. And no one believed to her, everyone loved, like always saying like, you want to make it. And she said, I'm gonna make it, because I have to, it's inside of me, and she did it. And her first film went to Venice Film Festival, which is one of the biggest in the world. And
from Kazakhstan?
From Kazakhstan, and she's a bulldozer, you know, she believed in herself so much. And that's the thing, because when you have a dream, you're actually alone. It's an alone process, you know, because no one will believe in you, you know, or maybe good people want to support you, but at the end, it's you only lonely adventure, but it's a great one.
So you've been in so many countries, but before Mongolia, you've been to Kazakhstan, right?
Yeah.
As a filmmaker, you are always, I'm sure you're always observing the society, the people. What's the difference between Kazakhstan and Mongolia? From your point of view, from your perspective, what have you observed?
Yeah.
What's the difference in society?
Well, I think all societies are different. I realize I'm from Europe, so my point of view is European. Western point of view. And I dreamed so much to come in Asia for all my life. And Kazakhstan was actually my first country, Asian country.
Ah, right.
And I can say a lot of difference, you know, culture is different, religion is different, people are different. But seriously, at the end, I just realized it's not that different. People in Kazakhstan are not that different than Mongolian, as people in Finland are not that different. I won't say it's because we are human, but it's because, okay, my approach was inside of the cinema, okay? So I jumped into a film industry. And inside of this industry, what is inside of every filmmaker is the same thing.
Same thing.
They have faith, they have dream, they have creativity, and they're gonna do anything they want in life to do it. And that's no matter what the culture is, no matter where you're from, no matter the society.
No matter what the religion is.
But the thing is, I want to add this, the big difference is if your own country, can you have the support of your society, yes or not? And that makes the big difference, you know? Because depending of where you are, maybe you won't have help from the government. Maybe the government can be a problem, you know? Here, for example, you don't have a system of cinema. It's a free system. You don't have a minister of culture who is working just for the cinema. It's absolutely free. It means you have a lot of freedom, you can do what you want, but it's very hard because you won't get funded by anyone.
Right.
Okay.
For example, you must be funding your film. The financial side is always a very tricky one for the filmmakers, I'm sure. And how are you finding your film?
Yeah, so I don't get supported by my government. I don't have this support. So that's also something. It's not because you have the resources in your country that you're gonna have it. It's a very competitive field. Cinema is, it is competitive. It's not easy.
Yeah,
and when everywhere is like that. And when I start my film, no one believed in me. It seems funny because now, all these filmmakers, they've gone through the same thing that I did. But when I started, I really thought I was alone. I really thought like, okay, that's not gonna happen. But when every day I was working on that film, I have my vision, I knew inside of me that would be like a beautiful film and need it. We need it, you know, we need to get inspired by new people.
There was some inner calling.
Okay, it's gonna be maybe alone, but I'm gonna make it and I'm gonna show you that I can do it. So I started crowdfunding.
Crowdfunding?
Yeah, it's like...
how does it work in Europe? I mean, I know the term crowdfunding, but how does it work specifically for filmmaking?
Well,
how do you do it?
Yeah, so basically it's people who can support your project with a platform online, and they can give you money, and after... So you have a goal, and if you reach the goal, you can have this money. And how it works usually is your friend who support you if you don't have this community, yes. So I would say if you're already a successful filmmaker, that you have a big community that are next to you, eventually you can have a good crowdfunding. But for me, that was mainly my friends, my family, and And then other people also discovered the project, but mainly my friends. So what's happened is I started this project with the crowdfunding. I bought a car. I did my driving license because in that time I couldn't drive. Because actually I'm doing all this documentary by car also and with my dog.
So you are here in Mongolia in car from Belgium.
Yeah.
You've never flied.
No, no, no.
You never took plane.
No, because it's also
Wow.
part.
It's a great journey.
It is a great journey, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was also because, you know, you asked me the question of the society. At first, when I left Belgium, I knew in my head that I will see that we are not that far. You know, in Europe, we are closing the border. In a lot of Western countries, they're closing the border.
Right.
I wanted to open the border and just say, you know, we are so close each other. I mean, you know, I'm a very idealistic person, but
we are humans.
we are so human, and I want to see, that's also in the film, you know, to see the road, to see the evolution, to see how fate of people change, you know. This is the road between Europe to Asia.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's get back to the financing.
Yeah.
So you financed your film in Belgium by crowdfunding. How is it working in different countries, in Kazakhstan, for example, in other countries, and how is it working in Mongolia? Do you still need budgeting? Do you still need funding?
I always need budget. So basically, I have budget from people who want to support me. So in every country, I meet people, and well, it's not always easy. But what's happened to me is more actually giving me services. So, for example, I have some collaboration with production company, and they're gonna give me like services, like free services, and also a lot of people. Well, actually, everyone work for free since the beginning.
Since the beginning.
Yeah. So
that's for the good of it.
It's amazing. But in the same hand, I mean, it's also very frustrating because I would love to pay people. It's important, you know. Everyone works so hard also for me. And it doesn't make sense that I cannot pay the people. So that's something I really want to change. I really want, I mean, like now I'm working with Mongolian people. I want to pay them. And that would be good also for the economy of Mongolia. Nice. So I'm always looking for partnerships. So anyone who wants to.
So, you know, people, anyone who wants to support this film because it's empowerment of Mongolian female filmmaker, you said Zoljargal.
Yeah, exactly.
Zoljargal, right?
Yes.
And anyone who would like to support this film, she's open.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can be contacted.
Exactly.
And let's talk about you. We've been talking about projects and different aspects. Let's talk about you. What book are you on? You know, you can say so much about the person from what you're reading.
Oh yeah. So the book I'm reading now. So now I'm reading The Power of Habit. And
Power of Habit.
Yeah, and actually it's very interesting because it's how you can change your habit, your routine, to be more efficient in what you do. And because I've been through. Okay, I left more than 1 year ago, my country, to make this project.
More than a year.
It's been more than 1 year. I'm just shooting, working, editing with a little tiny team all the time. So I have a lot of work, basically.
So you've been on the road working for over a year now.
Yeah, and I don't have a home. I'm always moving everywhere. Like now, this Zaya guest house that's received me for free. As I say, people want to help me. It's wonderful. I'm blessed, you know. And this project is possible just because of, you know, the generosity of people. So this book actually is really like how to be more efficient in what I do. And because I have to be always efficient. I have to be always ready. I have to be, you know, as I say, I'm shooting most of my time, all the time. I'm shooting, I'm writing, You're
doing everything most of the time, right?
Yeah. So I have to be efficient.
Oh, and I noticed that you are with your friend in Mongolia. Car and what? Dog.
Yes.
Dog. Tell us about your dog.
Yes.
What's its name? Oh.
Her name is Jackie.
Jackie.
Yes, and she's a mixed breed with a border collie. And she's Belgian. She was from Belgium, so I got her when she was 2 months. And at first, it's actually funny because I got her as a puppy because I wanted to live on the road with her. I knew I will have to live for my journey. But for 1 year, it happened that I have to find fauna, and it didn't happen. So we left when she was 1 year old already. And so far, she's been growing up on the road and through different countries. And it's sometimes challenging because some countries are very not dog friendly. So it's happened that
How about Mongolia?
It's not very dog friendly.
Mongolia is not dog friendly.
I think they respect the dog, but they don't want interaction with them. So the dog usually stays outside. They have a very specific function to, to protect the family and stuff.
The function is very set also.
It is. But Jackie, she sleeps with me, I mean,
right. It's different culture.
It is a different culture, and we are very close with Jackie. So, for example, it was very tricky to find a house here to accept Jackie. This is why it took me a while, and then I find this guest house that accepted me, and that was wonderful. But yeah, it can be challenging.
And Jackie is in the guest house now?
It is. Yeah, she's sleeping.
She's sleeping. Okay. So my last question. I think the honest criticism is always a help. So, from your point of view, you're from Belgium. So, from Belgian perspective, what would you criticize? What do you not like about Mongolian society, or any kind of issue that you've seen? Please explore about it.
Yeah, I think what is very interesting from Mongolia is, as a Western, we have a very romantic point of view of Mongolia. We think about nature, we think about nomad, we think about steppe. That's the first image that came into your mind. But then you arrived in Ulaanbaatar, and if you do like me in wintertime, the first thing you're going to notice is the huge, heavy pollution. And that's a huge contrast with your romantic point of view. And I'm here, we are in winter now, almost in winter. And it's very like suffocating, you cannot breathe. People have to wear a mask. It's actually dangerous for people, which is absolutely crazy for me. How is possible that you are not allowed to breathe? I love when it's wintertime, I love to open my window, to have fresh air in my room. You cannot do that here. It's impossible. It's very bad. It's very dangerous. So this is crazy that you cannot even breathe. You cannot even walk. So
this kind of situation let the imagination, the fantasy down.
Yeah, I actually don't understand why it's not changing. Why is not priority number one here in Mongolia?
Well, people keep talking about it, but I think, it's my personal view, I think it takes a while to get rid of this smoke. But yes, I believe we will get rid of it in no time, in close future.
Yeah, I hope so too, because we are talking about life of people, and children.
Of course.
Who grow up there, and babies, grow up in this smoke. So, and there's also almost half of the population of people living in Ulaanbaatar and in Gale district. So, I think it's a very concerned situation.
Right. Yeah. Well, we have limited time, unfortunately. If we keep talking, we won't stop. It seems like we won't stop, but unfortunately, we have limited time. And thank you for your very interesting takes and very interesting point of views, and even thank you for making a film about Mongolian female filmmaker. This is a good help to empower Mongolian women, and in the end, about the woman in the world.
Exactly.
Overall, right.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And that's all for today. Thank you for being with us. You're watching Today interview. We will see you on next Tuesday with more news and updates. Have a good one. Bye-bye.